is enough said.
Happy Taco Tuesday, Heat Nation! Ernest here, back with another Miami Heat Talk video. Before we get started, you guys, don't forget to take a moment to smash that like button, hit the subscribe button. We are on the road to 5,000 subscribers now. We're gonna rock and roll on another Miami Heat Talk adventure. I got a lot I want to talk to you guys about today, but before we get there, guys, on to a more serious note. Spoke about it yesterday, but I got to bring it up again today. There is a monster hurricane sitting in the Gulf of Mexico right now, Hurricane Milton, that is on a collision course with our beautiful state here in Florida. It's going towards the west side. You know, it's going to hit anywhere from Tampa, Sarasota, maybe even as far as south as Cape Coral. Me and my family are in the Broward County, so we're keeping a close eye on this storm. But for everybody else out there, I wish you nothing but safety, positivity, bliss. I hope everybody gets through this very easily. No damage comes to your home. I pray for everybody's safety. But it's like I mentioned yesterday, you guys, the great thing about sports and basketball, when there's something serious like this going on in the world that is out of our control, basketball is an amazing distraction to have just to keep yourself in a positive mindset. So together, let's get our minds back on track. And yesterday, you guys, was a great showing. The Miami Heat had their their red versus white scrimmage game that they do every year before the season. But tonight, the NBA season is back. Miami Heat got a preseason game against the Charlotte Hornets. I am very excited to see that. But yesterday, you guys, there's a few notes that I want to talk about leading into this season. First and foremost, as always, the injury bug hits the Miami Heat. Tyler Hero, Jaime Jaquez did not play yesterday because they both suffered groin injuries. They're both also not going to be playing today. Josh Richardson also didn't play because of the shoulder injury he suffered last year. You know, I'm not really upset about Jay Rich. I know he'll be back to help us, you know, later on in the season. He's going to be a great guy to have, a great addition to have. You know, with Caleb Martin out, I think Josh Richardson can easily slide into that role as your Swiss Army knife. So I'm cool with that. But this Tyler Hero and Jaime Jaquez thing just annoys me, you guys, because first and foremost, those are groin injuries. They're not really known to heal quickly. I've had groin injuries myself. Groin injuries, hamstring injuries, they linger for a while. So when you injure a groin, it's usually about 2 to 4 weeks. That's my assumption. So I'm just hoping that they're ready for the start of the season. But this also hampers because you need a fully healthy roster. You need the correct rotation. You need to know who's going to be out there. You need to have a healthy season. When guys are not there, it just puts a hamper into things. It throws a wrench into everything. But the great thing about this team, we're a deep roster. We have guys that can fill in those slots. Like yesterday, Tyler Hero didn't play. You assume Duncan Robinson, maybe even, I don't know, I'm just throwing names out there. Maybe Haywood Highsmith could take over that spot. But you saw Alec Burks start. And you saw the starting rotation last night and what I feel Spo will be going with. And I even mentioned it yesterday. Yesterday, you saw a starting lineup of Bam Adebayo, Nikola Jovic, Jimmy Butler, Terry Rozier, and Alec Burks taking the place of Tyler Hero. That's going to be your starting lineup, I feel, in the beginning of the season, especially if Tyler's healthy. Tyler and Terry in the backcourt with Jimmy, Jovic, and Bam starting it off. I feel Spo is confident with this lineup. I think Spo trusts this lineup. I think he feels that Nikola Jovic earned the starting power forward position last year, and nobody has actually stepped up to take it from him. So I'm okay with that. Offensively, that's a great starting lineup because any given night, any of those guys can drop 20 to 30 points on you, Nikola Jovic included. Defensively, it's not the best lineup, but I think, Tyler, Jovic, they can kind of hold their own. Bam Adebayo, Jimmy Butler makes up for those mistakes, and Terry Rozier can hold his own as well. Now, you do have a bench of firepower defensive players like Kel'el Ware, Haywood Highsmith, to name a few. So you're going to be able to mix a lot of things throughout the season. Another great thing that we saw, you guys, Bam Adebayo is getting way more confident with these three-point shots. He said it in his Tobin interview. He's looking to take over 100 attempts this year. Last night, he hits 5 3-point shots. I know it's a red and white scrimmage game, but the fact that you're seeing him have this tremendous flow, amazing. Duncan Robinson's also showing you that that back injury is something of the past, knocking 3 after 3 after 3 last night. Pele Larson, our second-round draft pick, shows out, is the leading scorer last night. This is a deep roster, you guys, moving into the 2025 season. I've said it before and I'll say it again. This roster is a perfect blend of veteran players, highly talented players in their prime, but also players that you can hang on to the future. The Miami Heat is trying to have their cake and eat it too, and I know it's really difficult. You're trying to have a team to win now, but also have a building blocks for the future. Usually when you're a team, you got to make a decision. Do you want to build for the future or do you want to win now? This is the decision that the Miami Heat are going to have to make this year. We're going to have to see what happens throughout the regular season. Maybe you feel that you need that piece to help you win a championship. And in order to get that piece, you're going to have to trade some of these young assets that you have. I think the Miami Heat know that. I think they're setting themselves up to see, let's see what this team has. In December, January, you're going to get a good idea of where you are. Is this a contending team with this current roster? Or does a change need to be made? Whether if the change is to help you contend for a championship, or if you're doing bad in the regular season, and the change is to help you build for the future. That's the great thing about this roster. This run it back mentality with Tyler, Jimmy, and Bam, this will probably be the final year of that, unless they win. So we're going to have a great understanding and a good idea of what happens during this season. Now, I'm already seeing, you guys, that Kel'el Ware is bringing something different to this Heat roster. For those of you that saw the highlights, were at the scrimmage game yesterday, he just immediately gives you something that you haven't had. A defensive big down low. Putting back shots, getting the easy tip-ins, getting the lobs, blocking shots, rebounding. This is something we haven't had in a while. This is the main reason why Bam Adebayo was not able to extend his game going into the three-point shot. Because if Bam were to shoot threes in the last few years, who the hell would rebound if he misses? Caleb Martin was probably the biggest player you had out there. Jimmy Butler as well. Duncan Robinson. Now you have a guy who's 7 feet, who can clamor the defensive and offensive boards. Allow Bam Adebayo to play his game. This is why I love Kel'el Ware on this team, you guys. Not just because he's a defensive big that's a possible 3-and-D big player, but he's going to allow Bam Adebayo to play his true game. When Bam Adebayo was able to move to the power forward position, you guys, I feel that he's going to have MVP caliber type of years. Because he's not going to have to focus on being the center, guarding the biggest player, trying to score 20 points out there. Now he's going to be able to do his game. And I'm excited to see that. And tonight, you guys, the Miami Heat against the Charlotte Hornets, a few things that I'm looking for. Firstly, what's the starting lineup going to be? Is Jovic truly going to start at the 4? I really would like to see that. I know it's preseason. Also, I'd like to see a lot of these young players. Keshad Johnson, Josh Christopher, Zion Pullen, Isaiah Stevens, Pele Larson, Kel'el Ware. I want to see them out there against professional NBA players. I want to see how they look out there. This preseason is going to be very important, you guys, because you're going to see who can exactly help you. Does Drew Smith still deserve that final two-way spot? Or should it go to someone like Isaiah Stevens or Zion Pullen? Zion Pullen was hitting threes last night, you guys, and Isaiah Stevens was showing his court awareness out there, setting up for other players. Is Josh Christopher really that diamond that we saw in Summer League? Is Keshad Johnson really that diamond we saw in Summer League? Time will tell. So Heat Nation, I want to hear from you. What did you think about yesterday's scrimmage game? What do you think about tonight's game against the Charlotte Hornets? How do you feel about this Miami Heat team? If you ask me, I say we can contend for the top 4 if fully healthy. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Don't forget to like the video. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel, y'all. Don't forget, we got a contest going out now. If you guys get me to 5,000 subscribers by the beginning of the regular season, I will do a $50 giveaway on a live video. So just click that subscribe button and you can maybe win $50. Thank you guys so much for the support. Until next time, your boy Ernest out. That's enough said. Let's go! Yeah, buddy.